What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So earlier Deed went and tweeted out that they're really looking at Warlocks in the update, and they're going to be showing us what they're doing to Warlocks in the upcoming stream this Wednesday. Now, the last time they touched a class, they did really good with two of the subclasses, and they did really bad with one of them. Sunbreaker, even though as salty as it made me, and as much as I wanted it to die, I really didn't think they'd actually kill it, but they did. They really over-nerfed it. It really only needed like armor tweaked, and that was pretty much it. And I guess Flameseeker a little, but they over-nerfed that thing way too much. It was so bad, and they did wonders for Striker, and even Defender, that small buff I got was pretty helpful. And the melee, making those T-Rex arms turn into big old gorilla arms, that was pretty nice. Now for Warlocks, I'm afraid they're going to give Warlocks, at least, you know, Stormcaller and especially Sunsinger, the Sunbreaker treatment. I think they're going to buff Voidwalker. I really don't see them doing anything with that unless they're finally removing Blink from the game. That would be amazing. Not because it's broken, but just because it's annoying and it eats damage, but that's probably not going to happen. Anyway, here's how I would personally like them to handle Warlocks. I'm not biased like with Warlocks. I play each of the three classes pretty much the same amount. Like, I'm pretty even with all my classes. Now subclasses, I say Warlock is the only one of the three classes where I have played all three subclasses like just as much as the others. I tend to swap around between those a lot because I think they're all fun. I think they're all really good. Some are obviously better than others, but let's talk about them. Let's go ahead and talk about them. So let's start off with Sunsingers, because that's what everyone wants nerfed. They've been OP for a while. Like, even in year one, they were still better than Blade Dancers. Despite what anyone says, were still better than Blade Dancers. Just nobody really used them. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I guess people just, I don't know, found Blade Dancer easier to use. And I guess with Blink, yeah, it really was. But it definitely wasn't better. I guess it was just easier. But Sunsinger has always been really good. And what makes him really good? Well, they have Viking Funeral and Touch of Flame. And we all know that burns you forever. And then there's Firebolts where you just throw it in the vicinity of somebody and it tags them and you get a burn. You're actually punished for throwing it on them and on their vicinity, because if you throw it on them, the bolt won't go out, it won't tag them with a burn, and that's kind of dumb how it punishes you. It should do more damage when it hits them and just, you know, not have a burn. But anyway, mainly what I want with that is Viking Funeral, like, just completely removed. Like, remove it, take it out, replace it with a different perk, like maybe like more of a support class perk that helps like in PvE and maybe even PvP too, but I'd like a more PvE centered perk if I had to choose, but make it support, because Warlock has no support class, and Song of Flame is sort of supportive, just not at all. Sort of, but not at all. So give them a good like support perk there. That'd be pretty nice, because there's still Radiant Will, which is really good there for PvP. So do that. That'd be great. Just remove it. And if they're not going to remove it, well, then nerf it pretty substantially, and then swap it and Song of Flame, like swap their slots. So if you want Viking Funeral, you have to pick between Self-Res, Viking Funeral, or Radiant Skin. So if you really want to burn somebody, you're giving up that Self-Res you always get sniped out of. Or the smarter players are giving up the Radiant Skin that lets you go on a rampage. Anyway, so that's it for that. Flame Shield, this is something a lot of people want. They want it to proc on kill, not hit. Now, an example people use is, well, Defender is on kill. Why is Flame Shield on Sunsinger on hit? Well, Defender has an entire skill tree buffing the Force Barrier quite considerably. It's a really good overshield. Flame Shield is base, you know, just a basic hit them 100 more. And if you get in a fight with a Striker, it doesn't matter, you're still dying in 2 melees even with the Flame Shield. Now, obviously, not all the classes can still kill in 2 melees if you get the Flame Shield, but still, I don't really think they should nerf it like that. If they do, it's not that big of a deal, but I'm just afraid they're going to over-nerf it. I'd like them to not nerf that part, just nerf Viking Funeral. And let's see where it goes from there. Flame Yield is still like a big problem. Sunsingers still feel like a problem. Then nerf Flame Yield, but don't do it all at once. If you over nerf things all at once, you cripple them really bad, really bad. And that's pretty much it for Sunsinger. I don't think self-res needs a nerf. Self-res in PvP is awful. Even if you use it smart, it's still incredibly risky. And there's always somebody waddling you with a sniper or a shotgun. It's a really bad PvP perk. It's overpowered in PvE. It is. But who cares if something's overpowered in PvE? So there's no reason to nerf it for PvP. Radiant Skin, leave that alone too. That's fine. That's fine. It's not... You can survive like a 1,000-yard headshot like Sunbreakers could, but Warlocks are a lot slower than Titans, obviously, and it's a perk you spec into. It's really good, but it's not OP, and for those people who run Spear, it's really satisfying. Or even Black Spindle, it's really satisfying to snipe them in one shot when they have Radiant Skin. You do like 202. It's really satisfying, though. I'm a big fan. Anyway, that's pretty much it for Sunsingers. Homing nades, I really don't feel like to be in the game at all, but they're not going to get rid of them, so I'm not really going to talk about that. That would kind of take away basically everything besides Solar Nade. Anyway, though, let's move to Stormcallers. Now, Stormcallers are really good. They have a really good super, really good neutral game. Same with Sunsingers. They are really good, and here are the problems people have with them. Transcendence lasts too long. The melee, super far, super OP, right? And I think that's pretty much it. I don't think anyone else has a problem with anything else. So let's talk about those. Now, I really don't want them to nerf Transcendence. At least the time it gives you. Why? Because then it becomes useless, and then... think about how satisfying it is to use in PvE. Think about that. You want to give that up? Really, if you're a PvP only player, like I mainly am, but I do PvE sometimes, especially when new PvE comes out, just think about how fun it is. You don't really want to give that up. I think like it should lower the armor to maybe like 50%, from 50% to like 45% when you equip that like perk, so you're a lot weaker, a lot easier to kill. There's also the thing, if Ionic Blink didn't exist, it'd be really hard to get out of damage, because Stormcallers with Ionic Blink are super easy to kill. Super easy. They're so easy to snipe. They're so easy to shotgun melee if you're, have smart movement. And if Ionic Blink didn't exist, I don't think there'd be a big problem at all. But Ionic Blink is a thing, and they're not going to get rid of Ionic Blink as much as Blink is But yeah, I think they should lower the armor, not the time. Make them easier to kill, so the people who are like really good with the super and really have good movement with it, make good use of the blink, can go and like take advantage of that super if they have smart positioning and whatnot. But if they get hit, it's gonna hurt a bit more, because like a 5% decrease is pretty noticeable. Now for the melee. Let's talk about this melee. Now, I really like the idea of this melee. I really do. When it kills me, it's a little annoying. I get it. Thing is, when this melee goes off, it has a delay. You may not notice it, but when you go to storm, like do that heavy two-hand melee with a crazy amplitude range, there's a little bit of a delay. There is. Now, maybe they should add a little bit more of a delay when putting on amplitude. Maybe. Like, I do agree it should be nerfed, because a lot of people don't like it, and I just want to shut them up. And it is a little annoying. I already said that. But I think if you put on amplitude, you have a little bit more of a delay when you go ahead and activate that melee. At least with amplitude on. Without amplitude, just leave it. It's okay. It's not that bad. The only other thing I have a problem with the Stormcaller is landfall. People are upset landfall pops the Titan bubble. You could take that off if you want. If they don't, it doesn't really affect me either way. I don't really know if it's like broken or not broken. What I do think is broken about landfall is it technically gives you 2 supers in one, a mini smash, and then the actual storm trance. The mini smash blinds you. You might not notice, but if you ever survived one and it was close to you, it blinds you. So you have like no chance of fighting back. And I really don't think a mini slam from a super that has technically 2 supers should blind you. I really don't think it should. I think that needs to go away. And it wouldn't really, like, some people wouldn't notice, because maybe some people will always get killed outright, but, at least give people a fighting chance against the super, because they're super easy to kill. If they, like, pop it in front of you, and they don't kill you with that landfall, you could shotgun melee them really easy. really easy, unless the game connects. The game's connecting kind of screws you over, but oh well. As for Stormcaller, that's pretty much lit. It's pretty much lit. Let's go ahead and just talk about Voidwalker real quick. I don't think Voidwalker is overpowered at all. It does need a few buffs. I think it needs a good grenade. The grenades it has right now suck. Axion Bolt, you could slide under it. It does 5 damage. I think we need to give him a good nade. Like, maybe make the scatter nade track like the Nothing Manacles does for it, and then just like make the Nothing Manacles do something else, along with giving it like the double scatter charge. I don't know, but I think they need a really good grenade. Preferably not something super homing like a Void Bolt or something. That wouldn't be cool, but just give them a better nade. And pretty much that's pretty much it. They have a really good setup of skills. Like, there's a build you can run with like your melee to really make it so your melee gives you a lot of super energy on kill. It is really crazy. I think they're really good besides the nade. I don't run Discipline at all on my Warlock because the nades are pretty bogus. But yeah, that's pretty much it though. There's probably more I could go into with each of the classes, like going super specific, but that's a long video and I don't want to make a long video like yesterday, and it's already getting there. So I'm going to see you guys. I want to thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it. I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.